Hello and welcome to another episode of Workplace Wizards Podcast. This is episode number 45, and this one's titled Diversity. Because last week we talked about a little bit about what was our topic last week? It was fairness, and then the week before that we talked about a few times where Sandy and I were traveling to different countries, and we're talking about just getting out of your comfort zone and meeting new people and building your cultural humility. So with the cultural humility, and then we talk about the fairness, now we're talking about diversity, because diversity is a sum of it all. So let's bring in this. I'm your host, Arnell Smalley, along with my co-host.
Hi there, Arnell. How are you?
I'm good, Gavin. How are you?
I'm good. I'm all right in this. We've got the sunshine out in England at the moment, which is quite nice because it's just rained continually for about 2 months. So I'm happy.
Okay, we had a bad storm this last weekend over almost the whole United States. So there were some areas that were just dealing with several inches of snow, or
Really?
some might have been in several feet of snow.
Really?
But extremely cold and real bad weather. But hey, I'm in sunny Florida, so the weather today is like 80 degrees, and I'm enjoying it.
Stop it.
So I'm enjoying it. But Gavin, last week we talked about fairness. What do we mean by fairness?
Well, we talked about why, I guess, primarily fairness is important. It's all about survival. But actually, the reason we want to treat people fairly is that if we, as leaders or as organizations, want to get the best out of our staff, we need to understand and accept that people have different things to bring. And if we can harness that and treat people with that fairness and give them equal opportunities, then we know that we will be better performers and achieve good things. So fairness for me in the workplace is making sure that everybody's got opportunities. Okay, and we value what we've got to bring.
But the question I have, Gavin, I like that response, but the question I'm trying to get to, the point I'm trying to poke you with is this: why do we need fairness?
So we need fairness because if we don't treat everybody in this, not in the same way, because you have to treat people differently, but if we don't give people the same opportunities to flourish, then we're just ultimately missing an opportunity, aren't we, to perform better and allow people to develop. And ultimately, that's what we want, because if people are growing and developing well, then we know that organizations will just perform better. Okay. Is that what you're getting at? What are you getting at? Just tell me.
That's sort of, you sort of covered it a little bit, but Gavin, I guess the point I'm trying to poke you with is the reason we need fairness is because people are different. They're different people. And and for you to say, I want to be treated fairly, is that, why aren't you treated fairly in the first place? Is it because you're different? Mm-hmm. Is it because you want to be treated differently? Mm-hmm. And so that's what brings in this word diversity.
Sure. Okay.
And like I said, diversity, it's a great word, but however, there's some states like mine, my state of Florida has taken the governor has shifted the word diversity to mean something negative. And there's nowhere in that definition where it's negative, because diversity, basically the definition of diversity is the practice of quality of including or involving people from a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds and having different genders, sexual orientations, or anything else. So that is actually the true definition of diversity. It's just being different. And the truth of the matter is, we're all different. There's no two people on this earth that are exactly the same. I do some classes where I've said, we talked about diversity, and I had people raise their hands. I go, raise your hand if you have a brother or sister. And mostly everybody raises their hand. And I go, and if you don't, if you have a close friend who's like a brother or sister, go ahead and raise your hand. And everybody raises their hand. And I go, now keep your hand up if everyone is if that person is exactly like you. And everybody automatically puts their hands down. So regardless if you have a twin brother or twin sister, and people say you guys are identical, what? You guys never argue? You mean to say that you guys never got into an argument, never got into a fight? Yes, you have. Why? Because you're different. Even identical twins are different.
Yes.
So
yes. But what you said, I think that was a good challenge actually, because do we treat people fairly because they're different? And the reality is we don't. Not
we
always.
don't.
Okay. And if we understand that and understand, even if that's subconscious, sometimes it's conscious. Let's be honest. Sometimes people treat people differently because they just consciously want to, but sometimes it's subconscious. But the fact is, we don't treat everybody fairly because they are different. But as you said, everybody's different. So we're missing a trick, aren't we? Because all we do is get the same thing. And actually,
Okay.
that's why we end up with cliques at work. Or no, what do you call them? Cliques.
Clicks.
No,
Clicks.
Clicks at work, because people just want to are drawn to the same thing, the same people that feel that they say the same things that you do, your same values.
Well, the opposite of diversity is actually the opposites of diversity would be similar, or
Yes.
being of the same.
Yes.
And not being different.
Yeah.
So yes, people do have a tendency to gravitate towards those people who are most like them.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's a book that's written over here, and it's why do all the black kids sit together in the cafeteria?
Right.
But the question should be asked, well, why are all the white kids sitting together in the cafeteria?
Yes.
It's people that are going to gravitate towards, because they can relate, they can especially.
Yes.
But what we're talking about when we talk about diversity, get out of that comfort zone. Get out of that comfort zone. Go sit beside somebody as ugly as Gavin and just learn learn to just accept him for who he is, because he's a beautiful guy inside.
So, yeah, thank you for that one. Well, I know you're all right there, because it is a complicated or complex thing, really, because we are drawn to people who we like or admire or value, because it's kind of safe, really, and but actually, if we really want to be better at what we do, we've got to push the limits a little bit more. We've got to accept that other people might have better ideas or better thoughts, or
yes,
and that's how because most challenges in any kind of workplace are essentially, we need to problem solve our way out of it. We need to find ways to resolve issues. Okay, doesn't matter what it is. It could be conflict, it could be a problem, it could be sales are going down. Ultimately, it's about problem solving. The more people we have can look at this from different perspectives, okay, and different experiences, you're more likely to come up with a better solution. Okay, and that's why we know research is pretty good in this area, that those organizations which have more diversity in them, whether that's ethnicity or thought or whatever it may be, will perform better. Okay, because it's not rocket science. We just got people's perspectives. If you come in with an organization which has the same perspective all the time, and you can see that in companies which haven't evolved because they've gone with the same mindset, they're not prepared to change what their priorities are or their visions, they end up going out of business. Okay, and it's the ones that
wait. So I want you to touch on that. They go out of business. Why?
Because the one part of the issue is that they're not open enough to see that they have to evolve in this ever-changing environment that we live.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And the way to change effectively, you need to have different perspective. Okay, because if you're trying to address that same problem with the same mindset, but your environment's different, you're not going to be successful. Okay, because environments, we can talk about environments actually, but things like Cynefin theory, which talks about the different types of environments we work in. You've got simple environments, but complex environments. Now, simple environments are things where we do things. You do A and B, and you'll get C. We know that's very straightforward. But actually, most of the time that we work in a complex environment where there's a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty, and actually there's no real answer. There's no single answer, because it all changes for different people. Now, the problem is that some people working in this complex environment try and use a simple solution. Okay, but it's not going to work. So what you want to do is try on new things, try different things, and by doing that, you will come up with better solutions. But if you use the mindset that you should know the answer, it often doesn't work. And that's why companies that don't evolve with their diversity are stuck in old ways, and they don't actually survive in complex environments.
But we do have a simple solution.
Go ahead.
We have a simple solution. If you take the word diversity, you take the word diversity, you take every letter in the word diversity, what you get is different individuals valuing everyone, regardless of your skin or your sex, your ideology, your talents, or your years. We've got the word T in there. Gavin, you messed up. We've got the word T. So T would be for talents and then years. So diversity is DIVERSITY. So the T stands for talents. So we left that out. But diversity is that's one way of looking at it. So, and you don't have to remember that whole thing, but if you could just remember the root word of diversity would be diverse, but the root word of diverse would be what? Dive. Just remember that. Different individuals valuing everyone. And that
I think
right
the value, yeah, and I think even though you actually put this together and not me, so this we thing is a bit of a royal we, but anyway, the what I love about that is about the valuing, because if we truly want to value our staff and the people that work for us, we will always be better. Okay, we'll always be better at the end of the day. And whether you value the just what they contribute is really important, because actually that's how they grow. If you tell someone they're good and highlight when they've succeeded, then they're more likely to keep growing, aren't they? Okay, and it's not to say that you can't tell people when they've done things wrong, okay, but you do it in a way that you want them to grow. So you do it in a positive way. I think that's a really powerful definition of a diversity, if or diversity. It's really powerful, but that value, the valuing, I think is great. I think I like that a lot.
Different individuals valuing everyone. Just remember dive. Different individuals valuing everyone. And I go with that, you can go a long ways. All right. So Gavin, that's enough for our diversity conversation. What are we looking forward to doing? You know, this is March 2nd. So we're starting the new month. Like we said, nothing changes if
nothing changes.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. So what we're doing this month, we're going to add our executive roundtable for HR personnel, so that we plan on doing that starting at the end of the month. That'd be March. What is that? March 31st. It'll be a Tuesday at 2:00. And please reach out to us and find out how you can get in on this executive roundtable. It'll be for HR personnel, professionals. And what we're going to do is discuss several things that are happening in the workplace environment and how we make improvements. And so me and Gavin will lead out, and we'll have several people on there to just give a little bit of insights of what they're dealing with, and we'll tackle a problem, or we'll pick a problem and we'll go at it. So what do you think about that, Gavin?
I think that's great. And you've just hit diversity on the head, haven't you? We will take people's views and perspectives and see how we can help develop that and help people learn from that and improve what they're doing.
Oh, I love it. Looking forward and excited to doing this. And like I said, stay tuned. It will be at the end of the month, and you can probably be able to check out our website, which is www.smallworldsolutions.net, or just find us on Facebook and LinkedIn, where we will be sharing how you can possibly join us on our executive roundtable that's going to be held March 31st, which is Tuesday at 2 p.m. I think that's the date we set in time, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to check, but I think it was.
All right, Dan. It works for you, Gavin. It works for me. So we're looking forward to everybody joining us then. And until then, if you need to reach out to us, don't forget, you can always text me at 754-971-7007, or reach us on Facebook or LinkedIn and drop us a DM. All right. And that's it for today.
Take care.
And goodbye.